Welcome to this week's episode of Cherish, Live, and Dream. I am your fabulous host, YaYa.
And I am your host, Jay.
Oh, she's fabulous as well. Y'all look at that hair, y'all. Look at it.
No, look at your hair. I think that is so stinking cute.
Girl, that's because it ain't had no elements in it
but
today.
I love that, though. Like, that's really becoming. Like, I like that.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. If my future boo is looking.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is. And you already see her hair is big, so you know that hair underneath. I like that, though. I like that on you.
Thank you.
I think you should do that more often.
The girl, don't you tell me that, because you know I would stick with a hairstyle.
Yes, we know. But seriously, I think you should.
Yeah. Well, y'all might see this again next week. Mm-hmm. And for our podcast listeners, you might. For y'all podcast listeners who's wondering what my hair is looking like, just tune in and catch our show and you can see it.
Yeah, you can see her fabulous big hair.
But listen, our topic for this week is really a very personal topic. Mm-hmm. Well, all of our topics are really personal, but this week is very personal because it's been a very shambling week.
Yes, it has. Shambles.
And so, I don't know if that's a word, but we're going to go with it. Yes. Shambling.
Shambling.
But our topic for today is, what do you do when your life is in shambles? So you know what I did this week, Jay?
What did you do this week?
So I had 3 days of shamblization. The first day I was like, okay, let me, Mm-hmm. The second day, I stayed in bed.
All day?
All day.
Okay.
I stayed up. Did I bathe?
I mean, it doesn't matter.
I know I didn't brush my teeth.
Right. I mean, I'm just saying.
I'm not sure I bathed. So that's what I did. And then the third day, actually, which is today.
Mm-hmm. Did you bathe today?
I did bathe today, and I brushed my teeth.
Okay, praise the Lord. Praise the Lord. Thank you.
Hallelujah.
Bless him.
Want to do it. So I was just like, I don't want to do life today, mm-hmm. tomorrow, or today. Mm-hmm. Or whatever that day was. Mm-hmm. I was like, adulting is ghetto. I don't know who came up with it.
Right.
And I was thinking to myself, they really should have driver's ed for 12-year-olds so that Aiden could have taken himself to school and brought him back.
Yes.
Like, I really did not want to do anything because my life, in my opinion, is mm-hmm. in shambles. And when I say shambles, because you probably wonder, well, what is this shamblization she's talking about? Well, glad you asked.
So glad.
And I know people have worse issues or problems, but my problems are my problems, and I'm not going to minimize it.
No, you shouldn't.
So I'm thinking to myself, I have this master's degree, I have all this education and experience, blah, blah, blah. I don't want to do anything dealing with any of that.
That you went to school for, right?
Yes.
So can you tell the people exactly what you went to school for?
For counseling, mm-hmm. rehabilitation counseling. Mm-hmm. I don't want to do anything with that ever again in my life. And so now I'm stuck with, what am I going to do? Which I do know what I want to do. I want to be like what I'm doing now, talking to you guys. And so I'm just like, oh Lord, how long must I wait until the people see my face? And I'm still waiting on an answer.
I don't know what that hairstyle you might be seeing this week.
So guys, we've been working on this show. We've been putting out content, behind the scenes. We were trying to see, X, Y, and Z. I'm trying to figure out algorithms with social mm-hmm. media. I really wish I could throw social media in the trash, mm-hmm. but it's what is needed these days to get yourself out there. So it's just really caused me to just break down, okay? Break down to bits and pieces. Swallowing every remnant of myself with nothing left to be seen. That's how I felt on yesterday when I did not bathe and did not shower. Well, that's the same thing, isn't it? And did not brush my teeth. I did not comb my hair. I literally went to pick up Aiden looking like The woman on what's that movie? Where she
gosh.
burned the man's stuff in the yard.
Wait to Excel. Yes.
And I was like, you know what? I don't care. I'm gonna pretend like I got 10 on my windows. And they probably didn't see me anyway, because y'all know I got a big crack in my windshield. So they probably were just looking at me in bits and pieces. So they couldn't really see what was going on. So anyway, that's what I do when my life is in shambles. Not saying it's good, right, wrong. I don't really care. But I just shut down. And you know what? I felt good in my shutdown.
And so now that you're out of your shutdown, ma'am, you have bathed and brushed your teeth, and clearly you've combed your hair.
Yeah.
So when you do that, how do you feel when that's your way of dealing with problems and issues? Like, does it really work for you? Or when you're in that setting, do you just kind of forget about what's going on and just kind of, or do you just replay things back in your head? Like, how do you really handle your day of shamblism?
On my day of shamblism, I don't think about what's got me in my shamblization.
Okay.
I just literally don't think about it. But when I come out of it, what got me in it is still there. So you think like, well, why do you just waste your time in shambles? I'm glad you asked, because it makes me feel good in that moment to not think about whatever it is going on in my life. However, I can't say that that might be the most effective coping mechanism, because I'm ignoring the issue and I'm not really addressing it until later. And then maybe if I had not allowed myself to completely shut down, there may have been some things I could have maybe reached out to someone that could have helped me think through whatever it is before I actually shut down, or maybe I could have cleared my head a little bit and then focused on whatever it was to see if there was anything that I can do on my end to clear out the shambles. But no, not me. I shut all the way down. Shut them down. Shut them down. Shut them down. Shut them. So that's what I do, guys. And you know, I'm honest about it. Now, will I change? I don't know. Should I change? Probably. I know you're not shaking your head over there, ma'am. Crowd. But it's just how I cope. And so we all have different coping mechanisms when our life is in shambles.
Yes.
And yeah, that's what I do. Now, Jay. Yes. Oh, and I do a whole lot of crying. I do that too. Let's not leave that part out. Yeah, I do that. Okay, now, Jay.
So what do I do when my life is in shambles?
Yes, what do you do?
So because I'm an overthinker, I just think. Like, I just try to process, like, how I can get through this particular situation. And I do put things, kind of aside to where I have to prioritize, because I have like so much going on right now. And so if I try to think about everything all at one time, like, I would really explode. So I have to pick and choose what I'm going to deal with today and put off for tomorrow. Now, I didn't used to always be like that. Sometimes I talk about it and sometimes I don't. Like, I'll call you and talk about it and, kind of hear it out loud just to see, what I have going on. Or either it has already happened and I'm just like, well, this, that, and the third is going on, and, it is what it is. Ain't nothing I can do about it right now. So ain't no need for me, to stress and worry about it, because it could be worse.
Yes.
And so I guess my shutdown part would be, I'm not always honest with people when things are like really going on. Because, when someone asks, how are you doing? Sometimes I think that's just a regular conversation that people ask you.
It's like the niceties.
Yeah, like, how are you? But
when they
if
really
I
want to know how
like, if I
are.
really told you how I was, like, do you really care? Or are you just asking because you think that's just an introduction to a conversation when you call somebody, hey girl, how you doing? Because if I say my life is in shambles, which I tell y'all that all the time, girl, my life is in shambles. What do you mean your life is in shambles? What's going on? Girl, I don't even know where to start. But let me just go ahead and start here. And so then if you start this list, Oh, girl, I'll just keep you in prayer. I can pray for myself. I mean, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that, I can't have anybody else to pray for me.
Mm-hmm.
But
Did y'all hear that?
I did. Did you eat?
I burped.
Okay. Anyway, back to the subject. And I am so sorry, you guys. I apologize. But at the end of the day, like, do they really care? Like, what you really have going on?
Mm-hmm.
Because if I really was to tell you what I have going on, it ain't that just. Okay, what is.
I'm sorry. I don't know if I'm burping, if that's gas or what. And this is why my life is in shambles. We like to give y'all our most authentic self.
Because this is very authentic right about now.
Oh, Lord, my girls is showing.
You know.
Y'all, this is what happens. Okay, you remember what's the topic? What do you do when your life is in shambles? You just act the food on your podcast and your talk show.
And everything will be all right.
And you just let it flow.
Just let it flow.
Let it flow.
Let it flow.
Come on, Tony. Let it flow.
I don't know the words to all of it.
It's gonna work out. I don't know.
Let it flow.
I actually started singing the Let It Flow from Frozen. And then you went to Tony. But anyway.
I thought it was Let It Snow from Frozen. Not no Let It Flow. See, this is what happens when your life is in shambles. See, she talks about me all the time and say that I can't get words right to the song. And she can't
It ain't
sing
even
the
Let
song.
It Snow, ma'am. It's Let It Go.
Well, it was based around snow. But as I was saying...
Anyway, go ahead, Jay. I'm so sorry, doctor.
But, I mean, I just feel like sometimes, again, I don't know how many times I've said this already, for all the distractions and the gastrointestinal issues that she's having currently on the set. But I want to do people really care about what you have going on. And I'm not talking about my closest, friends and family. I'm not saying that because, I know who do. But I just keep certain things to myself for that very reason, because I don't want people to think that just because I'm telling them what I have going on, like, I expect for them to have a solution, like to my issue.
That's good that you brought that up, because I think that's why people kind of, and this is my own opinion, shy away from really wanting to know what's going on with you, because they're expecting you, or they're expecting you to want them to have a solution to their problem or be of some assistance or help. When really we just want you to listen, and just let us vent it and get it out.
Yep.
So people, just ask people what are they doing. I mean, what's going on with them, and if they come with a whole laundry list of shambolization, just listen.
Yeah.
Because more than likely, at that point, when you ask them, they're ready to burst, and they just need to get it out. And then if you can help, great. If you can't, great too. You are actually even helping because you're listening.
That's right.
And you're not like saying, "Oh Lord, I gotta go. Oh my God, look at the time."
Right.
Don't do that.
Yeah, please don't.
So, but you know what I admire about you when you're in your shambles? You're able to actually process. Like, you process what's going on. Me, on the other hand, I don't process nothing. I'm processing what's going on behind my eyelids.
She sleep her problems away.
And then when I wake up, they're there.
They're still there.
But while I'm sleeping, they're not. So I really admire that you are able to process and take a step back and look at it. And you said something the other day. What did you say? You had to what did you say?
Regroup. Rethink some things.
Yeah, I don't regroup or rethink. I
have to.
I just, shut down. So it's just interesting how from one person to the next, people handle their breakdowns and their shambles. And you really, I mean, there's no, I mean, in my opinion, my opinion is really
is what? Your opinion.
In my opinion, I was trying to think of something profound, but nothing came to me. I don't know if there's a right or, and I said this earlier, I don't know if there's a right or wrong way of how you handle your, you know what?
I'm sorry. Keep sweating. This came in spirit. I am so sorry. Right. You know what? We didn't do a show last week, and I think that's some of what it is too. Yeah, I missed you. Oh, I missed us doing our show last week. See?
I'm talking to you, Jay.
Yeah. I miss you.
You. Y'all, we just glad y'all joined.
We are so glad. And we apologize.
But it's good rambling.
It is good rambling.
We're getting it out.
We're getting it out.
It's just interesting how when both Jay and I came together, we were both experiencing the same stuff in life. We don't know what the Lord is doing.
But he's doing something and he's up to something.
And so we're just like, this is crazy. Like we're both like still trying to make it.
Yeah.
Up that mountain.
Yes, we are.
And what you say earlier, if the mountain don't come down, we're going to climb over it.
Yeah. If it don't move, we're going to climb over it. Because God's going to give us the strength to do so.
My God. Come on, evangelist. Yes. Come on, preach the word.
So, but it is how I process things. Like because again, I'm a thinker, so I analyze stuff. And sometimes you have to look at your data. You just have to look and see how things are working. And sometimes you put a plan in action. Like recently, I just put a plan in action for a couple of months. It just didn't seem like it was working. Then all of a sudden,
I'm so sorry.
No, you're fine because you actually know what it is. But the thing is that once I really put it out there and talked it out, then you know what happened today. Everything just kind of like fell in my lap as of yesterday.
Man, today was a day of miracles.
It really was.
My God.
It really was because I just had to give it to him. And I was just like, okay, like this is not working. And I don't know, Lord, if you want me to go this way, if you want me to do it this way, but these are the things that I have before you. These are the things that's going on. And I need an answer. And so doors just flew open between yesterday and today. And of course, I still got some other things that are going on that I know that I'm going to get an answer to as I was processing and talking to you about stuff. Because sometimes it's like, okay, like for instance, with my situation, I got a whole lot going on. So I have to prioritize what's the most important and what can sit back on the back burner. Because sometimes you're at that point to where you can't do it all, but you can do something.
Exactly.
So that's not the time to shut down. It's just shut down completely and don't do anything. You do what you can do and then let everything else fall into place. And that's just where I am right now. Like, I can't do it all, but it's okay. I do what I can and I let him handle the rest. So whoever your him is, I know who my him is, my Father.
Hallelujah.
And so I am just trusting and believing that even in the middle of my shambles, and guys, where we got shambles from actually comes from my crazy self. From when I tell y'all, like, I feel like I'm sitting in the middle of a room and everything around me is just falling down. But as all those things are falling down, I'm not being touched. I'm not being affected by it physically. So that's what I see when my life is in shambles. Like everything around me is just crumbling. But I'm still here. Like I'm making it and I'm okay. How I handle things, it's how I handle them. Should I talk to a whole lot of people about them? Nah, because they probably don't have the answer anyway.
Or they're going to go run and tell that.
And that's the reason why. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's the reason why. And who and what better person is it to share about your issues anyway? Because he already know what's going to happen and what the turnout is going to be. And so in that process, I just have to deal with the process, but not let the process deal and handle me.
Come on, prophetess.
So
evangelist.
Yeah. So like
deaconess,
so if I
mother
were
the
nothing but Chase. But if I were to just even tell anybody like half of the stuff that I was dealing with, like me looking in the mirror and looking at myself, it's like, girl, you wouldn't even know it.
girl, cause she look fabulous, don't she?
You know, thanks to my girl Stephanie.
Come on,
hey,
come
Steph.
through, come
yes,
on.
yes, she
Hey.
hooked me up. I appreciate her. But yeah. So you don't have to look like your life is in shambles just because it is in shambles.
Right.
You don't have to. Not saying that you shouldn't talk to anyone about it, because you should. Like, you should have that one friend that you can go to about everything. Literally. You should be able to, because we need people that we can talk to. We need people that will not judge us no matter what the decision is. If you decide to go left when you should have went right, when you realize, okay, I went the wrong way, and you call that person, they should be like, no problem, no worries, I understand, I'm here for you. I'll help you get yourself out of that rut. And it should be okay.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it should be fine, because sometimes people make decisions on where they are.
Exactly.
And sometimes they don't have a choice but to make that decision at that time. And so I have some decisions to make. Yeah, I have some decisions to make, and some of them are, you know, a little cloudy. Some of them I have some clarity with, and the ones that are cloudy, those are the ones that's on the back burner until I receive clarity
Or instruction
I can
from the
see
good Lord.
clearly now. The rain is gone.
Come on, everybody. I can see.
All obstacles in my
Can you sing loud enough?
Because I didn't know I was going to know the words or not. So I kind of shied. I just kind of went low.
I don't know. I don't even know the words.
It's all obstacles in my way. And we don't own the rights to that song. But sometimes,
none of the songs that we've sung today.
Yeah. But some of the times, though, YaYa, nothing is wrong with shutting down, because you do have to make a wise decision. And when you're emotional, sometimes it's not a good time to make a decision.
You're right.
So if you do shut down and you cry, like you do, sleep like she does.
Yes.
And I ain't gonna talk about anything else that she does, because that's my own girl. I ain't gonna put out like that. But
yeah, I don't talk to people. Go on and say it.
She doesn't.
I don't want to talk to nobody. But Jesus and my daddy.
And that's cool. But your daddy is very wise, though. Like, that man has so much wisdom.
Y'all, we gonna have him on the show. He don't know it yet.
I can't. Oh, girl, I cannot wait. I cannot. Oh my gosh, I cannot.
Y'all might want to take y'all kids out the room.
Yeah, take your kids out the room, because Matthew's gonna have a word, and it's gonna come from his book of Matthew.
Yes.
The book of Matthew Jackson, not the one in the Bible. So. But seriously though, like, sometimes you do have to shut down in order to process some things and to figure it out, because sometimes some things are not meant for you to talk to people about until you can figure out.
And I know me, when I'm in an emotional state, and you know, people are trying to come at me with, you know, what they think, what they don't think, blah 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 blah. I get really frustrated and angry. And even though the Bible says, "Be angry and sin not,"
you're angry and you're sinning.
I might punch somebody in their face.
See, that's why she stays home.
I got a hint of a little anger issue. So that's why I need to separate myself from everyone and everything when I'm emotional, because I don't want to be violent.
Please. We don't need another recap of Yonkers.
Yes, you know, I have been inside before. For those of you who does not know the story, you have to go back and listen to one of our podcasts. I don't even know what the topic was.
I have the slightest idea.
But I have been inside before because of my anger.
Yes. Yeah.
And so I am trying to work on it.
Yes.
So anyway, that's why I really need to just separate myself, because, you know, it works for me.
Yeah.
And I also speak to God because He says, "Cast your cares upon Him and leave them there." But we like to pick it back up and bring it to ourselves again.
Yep, take it off the altar. That's not good.
But so while I am currently in a less shambles state, I'm not as in shambles as I was 2-3 days ago. But I'm on the other side of it. And and that's another thing. You're gonna always get on the other side of it.
Yes.
Now we don't know how long. I can't put a time limit on your shambolization versus mine, but there's always gonna be an end to it.
Yes.
So that's something to look forward to. Okay, say to yourself, yes, I'm in this situation right now, but this is not gonna be forever. And then like Jay said, and I'm actually gonna try and use this coping mechanism myself.
Which one?
All of it.
You are so crazy. You're so crazy.
Process it. Don't shrink all the way back.
Yeah.
And prioritize is what Jay said. Do what you can do, but don't do nothing. Do something and then move on. So those were good nuggets that I appreciate.
Well, thank you. And I have something to say to you.
Go ahead, girl.
So, like yourself, I know you have a bachelor's as well as a master's. And I know you're not the only one that feels as though that you went to, first of all, you went to some prestigious colleges. Like you went to UNC and NYU. And I ain't talking about UNC Charlotte. And I'm not knocking UNC Charlotte. This crowd went to UNC Chapel Hill. Let me tell you something.
Chapel Hill, baby. Chapel Hill, baby.
Let me tell you something. UNC Chapel Hill, you got to be like smart, like Steve Urkel. Smart. I mean, in order to get into UNC Chapel Hill, you really do have to be smart. Now, I'm not knocking any other colleges, you guys. That's not what I'm saying, because there are a lot of people out there that are smart that went to whatever college that, they chose. NYU is another college that is not easy to get into. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, this one over here, I went to Wade Tech.
Girl.
And no, I'm going somewhere with this though. No.
Okay, because I hear it's hard to get in Wade Tech.
It wasn't hard for me. I mean,
they have changed some things.
Yeah,
well, I hear their programs are very competitive. But go ahead.
And I went to ECPI, and I'm currently at Grand Canyon University. But with that being said, don't let your education define you, meaning that just because you went to a particular college. Now, I'm the one that called out your college. You didn't. I did. But I'm just saying this as far as who you are as an individual doesn't have anything to do with your background, where you were born, as far as your education. Don't let those things define you.
That's good.
Because some people do. I mean, y'all, we've had our conversations to where you've even said to me, I've gone to this college and I have this degree and I'm in this place. It's okay, because you're still who you are today because of the fact that you went to NYU, you went to UNC. But we also have to realize that those were your plans. That's what you wanted to do. Not saying that
come through, evangelist.
That wasn't what you were supposed to do, but during that season and during that time in your life, God opened up that door for you to go to UNC, for you to go to NYU. You were there for that purpose. You were there for a reason. And maybe He'll show it to you later. So here you are now.
In shambles.
In shambles. But because you are in shambles and because you have gone through some of the things that you've gone through, it's put you to where you are today.
My God.
And that's not necessarily a bad thing. That's just, where you are. So those degrees are still going to come in handy as far as, rehabilitation and whatever else you went to school for.
Nothing I want to return to.
Right.
But we don't know the Lord's plan, but my plan is
Your plan was to never return to
never
it.
return to it.
Yeah.
I'm done. Stick a fork in it.
See, so, sometimes we get caught up in those things like, oh, I got this degree behind my belt and I went to school for this. And, right now I'm working at, Hardee's, or I'm working at this or whatever. Okay, that's fine. Because at the end of the day, you still have to eat.
Pay that light bill.
Yeah, please. And so and so it's like sometimes you just have to do what you have to do and not be stuck on like what you thought it should be. Mm-hmm. Because everything that we thought that should be don't always turn out as planned.
And I think that's part of some folks, well, at least in my situation, frustration. Like you thinking about what it should be or what it could be or how people view you.
Yep, because of that. Yeah.
And so you get frustrated when really none of that should matter.
It shouldn't.
But it does, but it shouldn't. So, you know, a lot of times we create frustration that we don't even need. So that was good.
Well, thank you.
Girl, you letting the Lord use you today.
You are so crazy.
In a mighty way.
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 So.
Shambles. What do you do when your life is in shambles?
Do you shut down? Do you fall asleep and sleep all day?
Do you process like Jay?
Yeah.
What do you do?
Regroup, rethink, refocus, write down the data, analyze some things, and get back up. That's what I do. And take care of something. Like, don't just completely throw your hands up and just give up. Like, you have to do something when you're in shambles. But I know that I can say that when I'm having a bad day or if I'm dealing with some things, I do have several friends that I can call and talk to about it. It's not necessarily that I want them to give me an answer. Sometimes it could be that they pray for me, pray with me.
I burped again.
Yes,
sorry.
you did. And so yeah. So yeah.
Sir.
Yeah, please. So sometimes, you know, they're just my voice of reason, and they can help me process and get through some things. But it's not many that I call and talk to, and sometimes I don't know. Y'all know that sometimes stuff going on, I didn't tell her at all. And then she finds out after that, girl, you didn't call and tell me. You should have told me. But y'all be, I ain't gonna say she worried, but boy, when you tell her something, let me tell you, she gonna take it to the throne in prayer. She told me the other morning she was praying about something for me. I got up and go to the bathroom at 3 a.m. I said, do it for her, Lord. And let me tell you something.
Now, I was sitting the timber up.
Yes. Now,
on somebody's behalf. Like, I own folks.
Yeah, you do.
Issues, which is why I came out of counseling.
Yeah, but yeah.
But
but that's because you have that gift on you. So,
you know, but when I like to own it on my terms, not necessarily when I was in the field working. So I don't mind going to the throne for, you know, my friends and family when they need it. But yeah, I will do it now. I don't want to terribly equip me while I'm doing it. I will pray on your behalf if I can't do nothing else.
That's right. So
listen, guys. That's what we have for you today.
That's what we have.
So when you are in shambles, however you need to get out of it as long as it's not harming anyone or yourself.
That's right.
And work through it. Because like we said, you're going to come on the other side and it's not going to last. So listen, check us out, guys. We are nearing the end of our season 1.
Yes, we are.
We're going to be popping off in season 2 here shortly in a couple of weeks. We're going to have guests. Yay! And more interesting topics. So listen, y'all need to stick and stay with us. We thank you for our viewers and our listeners that have been here with us day 1.
Yes.
We appreciate and love y'all and those that we have picked up along the way.
Thank you.
So listen, guys, I know we missed last week, but that's few and far between. But we will definitely, what's the saying? If the Lord willing and the creek don't rise.
Because we had snow that rose last week.
Yeah, and so we weren't going to travel in those conditions. No, you know what I'm saying?
I wasn't going to travel in those conditions.
So we will see you guys next week. We love you, and we want to say thank you for joining us. Bye.